Okay, so if you see, look at the way this is a way narrative citation is. You have something like Smith argue that this. The parenthetical, you have it like, so narrative is always starting from the beginning. Parenthetical is always starting from the end. Which I mean start at the end, or start at the end of sentence. This is what parenthetical means. So there you will have all the reference in brackets. But for narrative, you will have the name. It's only the year that will be in brackets. So I observed that Gemini did not follow that particular instruction. So let's see now. Now it has done it the way we want it to be. So now, depending on your preference, what you'll be working on. And also, I also want to mention that parenthetical, although it was not included in this slide, but parenthetical usually measure, I mean, lists or highlight all the names in the reference. It does not just highlight, it does not, because now let me quickly show you the difference. Now, look at this one now. We have Asa et al. Now, in some supervisor will challenge you, because the appropriate practice is that when you are writing a research and you are citing an author for the first time in your work, what you need to do is to cite all the author involved. Then subsequently, you cannot use et al. This is the meaning, et al. But now, AI does not know that. AI is using et al for us at the first instance. It is not citing all the reference. So this is why you need to have a residual knowledge, which is why I'm trying to explain all this, in details. So when you are working with AI, you will be, because supervisor also knows, some supervisor that are conversant with AI also knows that AI will not cite all the author for you. You will just put et al as it is right now. So they will not tell you go and put et al. So it is, the onus is on you to either know how to prompt it to give you what you want, or you go and do it manually, which can be time consuming. But in this time and age, everybody wants to get things done as fast as possible. So the effective use of AI still relies on your knowledge, right? And how well you know how to use it. So we are going to tell AI and say, use at the first instance of referencing an author in the write-up, in the in-text, let's say in-text citation, in the write-up, use cite all the author involved, and subsequently use et al to, for the same author if occurs again, or if needs arises. Now, let's see. So this is beyond saying just copy this prompt, just copy this prompt. You need to have the understanding, and I hope that this training is able to break down give you the understanding, and you will need to also practice from your end to understand it better and know how well to use it. Now this is where it becomes funnier, because it's appearing that the AI is not even responding to us. Okay, I think it's not responding. That's how crazy Gemini can be. Okay, it's loading. It's loading actually. So you can see now it has responded. Awesome. Perfect. It has responded. See? Now you can see that we have more than one author. We have Asa, New Whitner, Wheeler, 2024, and it was referencing it as et al. So in a bit to avoid that is always good. So that means if I'm to update this prompt now, I would so now this is how you can also update your prompt on whatever it is that you are working on. Okay, so I've included the new prompts that give us the desired result. Remember that this is how I expect it to be by the reason of the school that I'm working on for this project. So depending on your own school, you will then alter the prompt to suit or as you prompt it, because with AI, your first prompt will most likely not get you what you want. So you have to keep prompting. You have to keep prompting to get your desired results. Are you getting it now? So now this is exactly what we want, and we have it. So awesome, awesome, awesome. So we then copy this. If you read through, you will see that it will be very difficult to spot that this is AI, except for somebody who like me that I am very conversant with AI. I will know. You get. But for some of these are lecturers who are not too conversant with AI and that are also used to some AI words like dev, integrate, you will most likely not find anything like that. So let's see. Let's see dev, no match. Let's see integrate, no match. You know why? Because we already gave it a something to work on. That is how best AI work when you want to perform a task. But when you are leaving it to work on its own, it will work based on how it is programmed. That's how it's going to work, right? So this is it. You know, awesome talks about the objective already. So you can take your time to read this objective. You can see this one of the assume the second objective of this study access our process innovation is not made on internet. So you can read on it. If you don't have any prior knowledge about it, then you get to know that, oh, this is what I'm working on. This is what it means, right? So now with this now, I can easily say, chapter one, introduction, and I will see remove spaces. These are some of the basic formatting skills that you need to have. And I have my this thing here. Then I come down here and I see 1.2. Then I have my research. Okay, here is now it will now be statement of problem. Statement of problem. This is the next one. So right here we then tell Gemini that in respect, because in the initial prompt you already have our objective there. So you now say in respect to the research objectives, because we want everything to align. Your problem is what is informing you about your objective. It's like saying you are hungry. That's a problem. So then what is the solution to that hunger? Is food. Your objective is then to get food. What kind of food do you want? Then your objective will be for that. Your broad objective is to get food. What kind of food do you desire? Oh, I desire to eat bread and beans. So your specific objective will now be I desire to eat bread. I desire to eat beans. Right? So that is how it is formed. Are you getting it? So because we are using blind approach, it's why we are not. It's like we are taking it inverse. No, we are not necessarily taking it inverse. We are still following the systematic way, but not outrightly the way a proper research, a quality research is supposed to be done. But if you do it this way also at your master's or undergraduate level, it will most likely fly because the supervisor you will not know. Because in the case of Nigeria, many supervisors don't even scrutinize that much. Once they see that you follow the line, what they are looking for, good to go, right? So which these two is also good to go. It's not that it's not an acceptable way. It is, because for whichever gap you even want to find, it doesn't mean that somebody have not talked about it. You are just considering it as a gap or as a justification, as the case may be. So in respect to the research objective, write a statement of problem for the research passage for the research study. Now let's go to our study this thing that talk about the prompts to use for becoming mm, the prompts to use for statement of problem. You will then see, okay, uh, you can see write a strong statement of problem inside the topic. Usually the objective journal study objectives. Yeah, the problem was aligned directly with the objective. Do not introduce new problem. Then structure, broad problem, previous study gap, need for current study, uses. So right, so because we already have a bit of, I mean, all these um, prompts here in our initial prompt, so we are still following this and we are still maintaining the same chart. So Gemini, the AI we would read is is a machine. That's why it's machine. It would have learned that, oh, this is what we are working on, so it will incorporate everything to the this thing for the, so let me correct this for the research study, and you then send. So let's wait and see. You can see, you can see, it's even telling you that, okay, senior author, okay. So we have our statement of problem, but it did, unfortunately it did not write it as a different what's it called, as a different passage because of the last prompt that was given to it. So it is writing it as a full passage. See, we in line with the this thing, but this is it here. I like it. So we are going to say, well, I can easily copy it directly here. Copy it directly here. So that you have to be very creative in working with AI, because AI can be giving you result that does not really necessarily align with what you want, especially when you are using the free version as we are using right now. So you have to be, you have to have a residual knowledge of what you want to do, or a sample, as the case may be. You have sample to give you an idea, oh, this is what I'm working on, right? So let's say, let me now say, write it as a separate passage. So then wait. So this is it here, right? So copy it, and copy. Now, one thing that is giving me concern is that there's no Nigeria auto here, and this is a Nigerian product. The supervisor might raise concern on it also, that why is no Nigeria auto here. Well, let's move on. So why you are, if you are working with for a, I mean, most likely Nigeria project, always try to find Nigeria auto. Always see that Nigeria auto is, especially if it is an area of interest to your supervisor, or your supervisor has an existing work on it. Make sure you cite that supervisor, find his work and cite him, right? If his journal is the journal that require you to buy, there is a way you can do that. You copy his DOI, copy it on here, you prompt it to tell you what the journal is talking about. So with that, you can Write it in your words or write it as AI has given you. So we have it here. Unfortunately, this is long. Statement of problem many at times does not need to be long. So I'm going to brief it, and then when we come back to the next video, we would have align everything together down to research hypothesis. So see you in the next video.